Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. It's good to see you. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about Superman #1. There are a few things that bother me in this story. In general, I thought it was drawn very, very well, and it was very story heavy and character development thick. There was a lot to read here. It was the book that took me the most time to read it, and there was a lot to take in. I did not go back and read it a second time because after reading out of all the books, this was the one I wasn't completely sure about. Superboy, I knew I didn't like very much. I'm going to keep reading it. I want to find out how the character develops, but I thought the art was very sloppy, and I wasn't sure where they were going with a lot of the characters. Red in that book goes from looking like a chubby boy or man to looking like a skinny, geeky female lab scientist, and I'm not sure why the art has to be so sloppy. In this book, the art's very good, but a lot of Superman's dialogue is very bad. It's cliched and it reeks of like Super Friends from the 80s or some of the old Superman shows from the 70s. There's also a page very early in the book where there's this weird alien playing some sort of alien horn, and they tell us to read Stormwatch to find out more of the mystery. I hated this page. It had nothing to do with the story, and it seems nothing more than an ad for us to read Stormwatch, a book that I'm not interested in at all, and I understand that it's a business and they're trying to get us to go ahead and look at a book that we might not look at, but I think this was a bad way to do it, and it has nothing to do with the story, apparently. I mean, maybe it'll develop further, but I have no interest in the Wildstorm comic, and I thought this was a throwaway page and very bothersome, and it took us out of the story that we were supposed to be reading. Now on to Superman's dialogue. Hey guys, you know Metropolis outlawed nighttime drag racing, as he's picking up their car. Very bad. He then says his arms are tired. I thought this was interesting because I wonder if he really means that his arms are getting tired, because the creative teams did say he would be less powerful in this new continuity, or if he's just saying that, as we've heard him say similar things like that before, to just get them to hurry up and make a decision because he is going to throw them into space or whatever he's going to do. Later on, he says to the fire creature, "It's time you got snuffed." Again, just very, very bad dialogue, unnecessary, and he doesn't really need to say something like that. Toward the end, he says to the fire creature, "You've been doing all the pitching. Now let's see if you can catch." Again, just very dumb, very bad dialogue, and I hated it, and I hope that they get away from that as we move forward, because a lot of the character development and story here was written very well. And lines like this just make me groan and take me out of the story. It also has kind of a double entendre thing, which I don't know that they were going for on purpose or not, but who knows. Lois in the story is pretty well perfectly handled. She's given a new job. She's given a lot of responsibility, and she's shown as a tough journalist who gets things done her way and doesn't put other people in danger or make decisions for other people while doing it. Morgan Edge shows anger toward her in the middle because she didn't continue with the footage, and rather she pulled her people out of there, but she gets it done anyway, and toward the end we find out that Morgan's happy with her for having done it, and this shows Lois in a great light. She knows what to do, she knows how to do it, and she doesn't need bosses telling her what to do. She even hangs up on Morgan at one point and tells him to get the hell off the phone. And that is Lois to me. Clark is shown as the beacon of journalistic integrity. He's angry that Morgan Edge and his multimedia conglomerate have taken over the Daily Planet, and this is vintage Clark. This is the Clark we've come to know, the Clark that we would expect. So it's not wholly original, but it is getting back to some of the characteristics of both of these characters that have been missing from the Superman books for some time. Jimmy changes from panel to panel. His hair is sometimes brown, sometimes blonde, and sometimes it's almost red. And he looks very different here than he does in Action Comics #1. I realize it's 5 years later, but who knows why his look would change from panel to panel so much. Again, it just seems like the colors are a little off. But otherwise, the art in the book's very, very good. I've heard people say that the Daily Planet globe would likely be put in a museum instead of used as a plot device to destroy the villain. I don't know. I mean, if the New York Times or the Washington Post or something got a new building and they went modern, I'm not sure that they would necessarily pick up any piece of a broken down building to put in a museum. They might not. I don't think it's a sticking point. Casey, the cop who helps Lois at the end of the story, I probably would have gone with the name Henderson here. But they don't. Instead, they create a new character whom is either going to be throwaway or maybe they're going to establish as someone important as we go on. But that's all for now, everybody. Thanks for watching. My name is Scotty V, and always look up in the sky.